Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today it's the 31st of May and so it's almost the end of this month, and because I knew I wouldn't be able to finish my two ongoing whips, I decided to shoot my finished pages video for the month of May 2022 already. So let's dive straight in. There aren't as many done as the past month. But that's due to one project that took me quite some time, and afterwards I was so tired that I took a little break from coloring, just physically tired. It was, it asked a lot of concentration and deciding on colors, and I just needed a little break afterwards. So that's why I have a few less pictures this month, but the ones I did, I'm quite happy with them, so let's dive straight in. The first one is in Sagor Oak by Emily Lidahl Olberg, and the one that I did was the big brother of this introduction page, which I did in 2019. And in one of my finished pages from last month, I think it was, I used a color combination that I loved so much that I wanted to use it on another page, and so I decided to use it on this one. And it's about the grays and the berries. I really thought it was a nice cold and wintry combination. And then for the flowers, I've chosen some purplish, pinkish colors. I believe it's Holbein, and some light blue colors for those little flowers as well. So a cold combination for all of the objects. And the deer, him or herself, was done with the Derwent drawing pencils. It was the first time that I've actually used them for fur. I did use them already for other pictures, but for fur it was the first time, and wow, I really understand now why these pencils are so loved. They blend extremely well with each other, and I'm super proud of how the deer turned out. It's really like you could cuddle him and stroke him, and or her. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but I'm super happy with how this one turned out. And I only have a bit of stickles on the berries and here on the elements of the pink flowers and the core of the blue ones. And as for glossy accents, I've used it on the nose and the eye of the deer. But other than that, it's a very, very subtle page. Very, plain and calming, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. It's a bit of a pity that it isn't winter now at this moment, because it would have suited the season very well. But yeah, I really wanted to color this one, and so I'm very happy with how this one turned out. I think it's my favorite of this month. So that was the first one. And the second one is quite a simple page done in an elf coloring book. It's a German version, and I don't think there's an artist mentioned. This is just a little bit of testing. No, there's no artist mentioned. Also not in the back, I think. No, not at all. So I've bought this on Amazon Germany, I think, a few years ago. And the page that I decided to do this month was this one. Now this had a bit of an accident. This mark doesn't belong there. I've used a fake Spectrum Noir glitter pen from my discount shop, and all of the pens that I have, except two of them, which were very leaky and I had to throw them away, work really well. Also the orange one, except for the moment that I took off the lid and it splattered on my page. So yeah, then I decided to leave it like it was. It is, yeah, it's not a big deal. It suits my berries, which were orange already, so it was really at the finish of doing everything that the splatter happened. And so yeah, on this page I've used quite some glitter on the wings from the fairies and on the guy's pants. It's such a shame that you don't notice black stickles quite well, but on black pants I thought it, yeah, was quite okay. And on the rest on of the page I splattered with gold ink from Winsor & Newton. So it's really quite simple. Oh, and there are some stickles on her dress as well on the bottom part. But yeah, it's quite a simple page, but it's nice. I don't think my background suits the rest of the page very well, but yeah, I didn't want to do a straight light blue background. So, and most of the time I start with my backgrounds. Maybe I had to choose some other colors than the orange, but yeah, she really screamed orange to me, and it's quite okay. It's yeah, cute little project. And the next book, sorry for the bump, I'm always bumping the tripod. The next project is for is from the Mermaids coloring book. It was a coincidence that it was Mermaid this past month. Wasn't really thinking about it, but when I colored in my girl here in this book, I thought, oh, okay, it's Mermaid, so it's fitting that that I did this one. And I like how it turned out, except for her tail, which is so bombastic with the paint and the stickles. But yeah, did use a lot of glitter, as you can see here and there, as well on her fantasy face. I'm going to try and lift it up. It's such a difficult, the legs of my tripod are really blocking the way I can move, but if you see on her face, you can you see some, yeah, fairy sparkles also on her hand, her belly, everywhere. And I wanted to do her fantasy skin tone, or a fantasy skin tone again, with some color shifting between just pink for her skin and some turquoise color for, yeah, a transition into more mermaidy, I think. So used some paints on some elements here and on her head wear. So, and the background is done with inks, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I see some water splatters here. And of course, some with a sponge I stamped a bit of golden ink here and there to, yeah, make it more poppy. And then glittery bubbles. So overall, I really like how it turned out. Don't think that the bottom part matches the color very well on top, but yeah, okay. Once I started doing it, it was, yeah, it was a done matter, and so yeah, it's quite okay. But maybe I would have chosen some other colors if I was going to start it now, but it's still a cute page. So that was this one. Then we are returning to Emily Lidahl Oberg, And this one took quite some time, but it wasn't my longest project in this month, but it took me a bit of time to do. And it was this page, and of course I had a lot of work with my white Signo and white Artistro pen. But overall I really like the color combinations. For the leaves I've used watercolor pencils, and I did an outline with gold. I know it's not focused, but it's just to make you have a look at the golden how do you call it, outlining. Also some glossy accents here and there. She has an effect of some paints that appear when you move your page around, so that's nice as well. Some stickles, some glossy accents. There's a few things going on this page, but I really like how it turned out. It's very fresh. It's a bright page, a happy page. I like my flowers. I wanted to do them more pinkish, but it turned out a little beige. So, but I don't mind it. It's really fitting. So also try to do my mice, but with fur. But I didn't use the drawing pencils. I decided to use the color soft ones, but those aren't very suitable for fur, for my feeling. Or maybe it was because of the paper, I don't know, but it didn't work very well. It wasn't a happy feeling that I got when doing it. So yeah, this is also a page I'm really happy with. Love this book, love the artwork. So yeah, fun project. And then we dive into Luna by Maria Troll. And I did a dark page, or a page with a black background, I should say. And I decided to use my iridescent gelatos. And it's only visible when it's better visible when I move the page. So especially here, the purple shine. I also did use some green, but that's not quite visible, unfortunately. But yeah, I really like how this one turned out as well. It was quite a quick project. I've used some metallic paints here on the bottom. Used some stickles on the butterfly, which was very basic colored, but it matched her dress. The inner part of the flowers have stickles, and the splattering that you can see is iridescent medium, just out of the bottle. It's also by Winsor & Newton. I think it's a silverish liquid, and it lightens a bit when you move your page. It's visible from the front, but if you move your page, it's more poppy even. So, oh, and now that I'm holding my page like this, I've used some gold gelatos as well here, because the inner part here, for example, is black as it should be, or as it was before I colored it, but I went around with gold gelato as well. So that was nice to experiment, because on white paper I don't think my gelatos work that well and don't show up as pretty. And so I thought, okay, I'm going crazy on a black background. So yeah, really like this one as well. Oops, there I did it again. And then I have to show you my very first page in the Nice Little Town 7 coloring book. I believe this was a gift. No, it wasn't. Oh, no, I'm mistaking. I have been gifted book 11, I think, a while ago, but I still have to tackle that one as well. but if I'm not mistaken. But in this one I hadn't colored yet, so I decided to do one picture in this one, and this took me a lot of time. And I'm not overall pleased with how it turned out, I must say. It's this page. I started off with the strawberries. These, I was happy with how they looked, but then I looked up a picture from of cherries, and I didn't use any explanation book or manual on how to color cherries. I just looked at the shadows and the light on cherries from a picture that I googled, and I'm so in love with my cherries I could bite them. I'm so proud of how they turned out. And afterwards I did the chocolate, and I was happy with that as well. Just my own feeling for coloring in this. Didn't look up a picture, but just used drawing pencils for this one. But that's about it, what I liked about the picture, especially those cherries. But all the rest took a lot of time. I don't think it's ugly, but you can have a blah feeling if you work too long on one, and maybe I should have taken a break during coloring this. But yeah, I must say I'm quite happy with how these cupcakes turned out, and in the houses I like the color combinations and everything, but there's also some glitter going on. A lot of glitter, so it's a happy page with glitter and stuff, but it took ages, and I don't think the bottom part matches my top part, and I don't like how I did those pots where they're in either. I've used a gel pen, and it's a nice color, it's a good brand, but no, I'm missing something. But yeah, I can't put my finger on it, but yeah, it's I can't believe that I did those cherries myself. It's really incredible. But yeah, I was super glad that it was finished, really. I needed a break after this one. But I didn't take a break. I decided to do a small project in a magical journey, but it turned out a bit as a disaster. But yeah, first I had serious bleed through because of using ink, the Distress Oxide ink by Ranger. They're great, and normally they don't bleed through, I think, but this paper, I had stains all over the place. This paper can't take ink without staining. It's unbelievable. So I decided to mask everything with a technique that I have seen on a French coloring channel, but I can't possibly remember who did it. But you can see, if I'm holding it like this, you still can see a lot of stains for my inks. It was a disaster. So it's quite okay if I take a look at it now, but yeah, I did mess up my date. I wrote down April 2022, but it was of course May. And since I noticed that it was wrong, I decided to outline the bird and the paper to make it a bit more poppy, because otherwise it was just dull and not nice looking. Now I like it a bit better, but it's not the most fantastic page in the world, but it suits the neighbor page, which has some gold shimmer here, and this one has gold shimmer here as well. It's another approach and another product, but I think they go well together. So little project, a lot of headache for the background, but it's decently covered, and yeah, So that was this one. And then the last colored page is by, or in a book by Hannah Lynn, the Maui Mermaids. And this one took me quite some time as well. But I like how it turned out. It's this one, and don't mind those pale fish. They do have color, but it's with some shimmer paint. On her tail I've used some, I can't really tell what kind of product it is. It's like a thin piece of shiny paper that you put on with glue. So they're all pretty smart, but they give a nice shimmery effect. I love how my mermaid turned out. I've given her a nose. I'm trying to give them noses nowadays. Very subtle ones, but they have more nose than in the past. My little turtles have some metallic paint on their shields. A lot of stickles going on, a lot of shimmer and glitter paint. I hated doing the plants, I must say. I hated doing the rock. So it's noticeable that I didn't do a lot of detail work. The sand here is inks, but cheap ones, no distress ones. So, but overall, I really like it. I like the background. It's a warm page. It's a sunny page. So, yeah, it's I like everything about my turtles and my mermaid. But this Hannah may leave those things out because I don't like coloring these. They take more time than doing my animals and my mermaid. So, and that's the second mermaid that I did. So, yeah. And then I can show you two whips that I hope to finish next month. I'm going to take a walk to my books where they lie. Hold on. And the first one that I can show you is in the Romantic Country book, The Second Tale by Erie. I decided to start a double page spread, and it will take quite some time. It's this one. So I did a few elements on this page already, a few stickles, some glitter paint, same story on this page, but I stopped coloring because I don't like how I did my carriage here. I was thinking about pastel colors, and then I have chosen dark purple and orange, and where's the pastel? But yeah, we will see how it will continue. I'm happy with how my fox turned out and how the giraffe turned out. I was really into coloring this little guy and the rabbit and the monkey, but I'm not sure when or how I'm going to color it. If it will be finished next month, I'm not sure, but we will see. We will see. Maybe when I color in this part and this one, that I'm more happy with how this is turning out, but for the moment it's no. And the second whip is in my new Hannah Carlson book, the Witch one, that I've ordered in Swedish, I think, on Book Depository instead of waiting for the English translation. It's this one, and I have no bleed through. I did have some stains because I was a bit I was careful because I always put some papers at the back, but still I have some stains. But At least I don't have bleed through. The background is done with Boku Undo paints, if I'm not mistaken. These are very dark colors, grayish green. They all have a black and grayish undertone. So I did that, and then on top I went over it with Distress ink, a red brick color. Decided to outline the bugs with white acrylic paint, and I didn't notice at the time that it was too white and not worked on properly. So I will try to solve that with some neo colors, I think. So, but yeah, I'm liking how this is turning out. The light source, or how the light is coming on the page, is a bit weird, because here is some light, and here, and it's like its head is crooked. It's not how can I show it in a decent way? I'm going to lift my book at this. So it's like his head is crooked. There's something wrong. Now I have to be careful with this little guy, because I put on my stickles not too long ago and it still has to dry. The wings have some glitter paint. There's some work left on him. I started to think by doing my bugs all in those colors, but then I thought, no, maybe I will do this one the same colors as him or her, but I wanted something different, especially for this one. So we will see. And here are these shimmery papers again that I've bought. I'm going to take that little bottle so that I can show you what I mean. Yeah, it's this Foil Flakes embellishments, and it's really looking like little papers, and they stick quite a lot by themselves. Of course they don't stick on the page without glue, but it's sometimes difficult to get it off your hands. And I have them in a copper color and in silver. I bought them at my discount shop, Action, my favorite shop, for 99 cents, euro cents. So that's not even $1. Super cheap. And I think it gives a nice touch. It gives something extra. Yeah, I like playing around with them. I will add some extra here and a bit in the bottom, not too much, but yeah. So that was it. I'm almost filming for half an hour, so it's time to say goodbye. I really hope you've liked my finished pages and that it was nice to see my whips for the moment. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below, and I hope I see you again in a new video. Thank you for watching. Bye!